What is going on, my beautiful people? So in this video, we are going to talk about the power of visualization. And I'm not just talking about being able to manifest stuff, anything like that. I'm talking about faith-based visualization, being able to see it and being able to believe what God has said that he can do in our life. So this is something that I've known about. This is something I've known about in the past. I've known about visualization. And even for my goals, I created visualization statements for this. And when I first created it, it felt very good. It felt like, oh my gosh, like it's going to be something that really, like I was feeling the energy. But the problem with what I did there is I didn't continue to look at it every single day. But today I woke up, I went to closet and I was doing my meditations and I started to visualize. I went back to my goals and remembered the visualization statement. And it's something that hit very hard because in this book, Inner Excellence, I'm reading right now, he talks about being able to visualize even just for 1 single second. If we can visualize and get excited about this future outcome that we're going towards and get excited about it even for 1 freaking second, it creates this power, it creates this energy that we're going towards. But being able to remind ourselves that it's about God and what God can do through us. Not that we're going to just like think about it and it's going to happen. But if we can sit here and think about, I know that God has said that he can do great things, that we can move mountains if we have a mustard seed of faith. And it's something in the battle for our mind, in the battle and war for our mind, we have to use this as a tool. This is something that's going to help us because, sometimes we can feel like, are we able to do this? I'm not somebody that could always believe like I was going to be able to do crazy things. I would always just move step by step by step by step, not knowing what I could do, not having this 100% belief in myself. And, sometimes we think okay, is that bad? Does that mean that we're never going to do anything? We always hear about this delusional self-belief. But as I started to build, as I started to kind of, chip at it little by little, start to plan out, okay, now I'm starting to see it a little more. Not only that, but reminding myself that through Christ, all things are possible. Really anchoring myself in Christ and having faith. All of a sudden, I started waking up with excitement. I've started to do these meditations where I'm starting to see okay, this is what it can be. And how are we going to pray for something that we don't even know where we're going to go? This visualization, I think, is something that we can allow God to take his hands on it. If it's not in his heart, if it's not in his will, he could change our heart. He could change it to whatever he wants us to do. But being able to say God, this is what I'm seeing right now. This is what gets me excited. I'm going to pray on this. I'm going to give this to you and see what you can do with it. See if this is what you want. If it's not, change my heart. But I think the excitement comes from knowing this is something that I'm really excited about. This is something I'm starting to see, and I highly recommend, if you want to get excited about your future, about where you want to go, about all this stuff, just think about something that gets you excited, even if it's for 1 single second. And it doesn't have to be the absolute most crazy thing, because for my goals that I'm doing right now, it's for 6 months. For 6 months, and I had set the goal. I know what I want to get to. I know I've talked about the things I've done in the past so that I can have this belief. So creating this belief, creating this excitement around it, I know what I can get to. You write it in the present tense also. When you wake up on that day, what is that going to look like? What is it going to feel like? What is all that stuff going to feel like? And that's what you're visualizing. Just imagine yourself being able to wake up knowing that God made this stuff come to pass, that you were praying on it, that you were excited, that you knew that God has already promised you this, that you are blessed, that you are faithful, that you are favored, all this stuff. You have to really not only you can't just believe in yourself, but it's believing in what God has said about us so that we can believe in ourselves, so that we can believe about who we are through him. Joel Osteen told a great story. He told the story of Jeremiah. In the Bible, Jeremiah was somebody that was told by God that he was going to be a prophet among many freaking nations. And of course, Jeremiah, he's a young dude. He's like, God, I don't know. I prophet among many nations. How the hell am I going to do that? I'm young. I'm not equipped. I don't have anything to do. I can't necessarily do this stuff. I don't see myself doing this stuff. But God has told him that he was already going to do it. And God told him to watch over his mouth so that he can continue to say what he has already said about him, instead of saying all these things. And Joel Osteen talked about this too. Because, of course, firstly, Jeremiah did go on to be a prophet among many nations because God already knew him in the womb. Joel Osteen talked about this too when he was called to pastor at the church, which was a pretty damn big church. He had never been a pastor before. He's about 30-something years old at this time. He would start saying I'm not worthy. I can't do this. I'm not a speaker. I don't have anything to do with this. I'm just not ready for this. He is saying and describing his situation, how he is seeing it, how he is seeing it through our low human eyes and our low human beliefs. But then he said he had to start to rewrite that. What he started to do is say what God has already said about him. I am equipped, I am ready, I am loved, I am enough, I am blessed, I am prosperous, all this great stuff about what God has already said about him and every single freaking one of us. And these things, he said, do not describe the situation that you are currently in. Describe what God has already said about you, and that's how we get to that. If we start naming out all this stuff that I am not this, I'm not that, I'm ugly, I'm not equipped, anything like that, those things are going to chase you down. But if we start saying I am blessed, I am prosperous, I am equipped through Christ to be able to do anything he puts me into, all of a sudden that stuff starts chasing us down because it's already there. So today, if we want to have this belief, if we want to wake up excited, it is a war. Let me tell you, it is a war because this is something that I just broke through. It's something that I'm so excited to break through. So if you want to win this battle for yourself, if you want to win this battle tomorrow, it literally is just a flip of a switch. Yesterday, I wasn't feeling like this. Today, I am because I literally just did it this morning. So if you want to win this war too, tomorrow, wake up and remember what God has said about you. If you're feeling bad about something, just go to the Bible and find a way to rewrite that belief based on what God has said about you. Also, write your goals, write the visualization for the goals in the present tense so that you can see it right now and you can start getting excited about it. I was literally just asking myself, what is something that's going to get me excited? I tried this, wasn't too excited. I tried that, wasn't too excited. But then I went back to what I wrote for my goals and I remembered how much energy I put into that and it got me excited again. So we need something like that to get us ready for tomorrow, to get us ready with being able to get to that place. I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Let me know what you're currently trying to get to in the comments below. Peace.